Recording started. Oh, Dan, chat, Pog. I'll record it anyways and send it to you so you have like a backup copy or just like something you can look at later if you forget stuff or I don't know, something like that. But yeah, if you want to just interact in chat, that'd be great too. We can even hang out in voice if you want to. To be honest, but yeah. Uh, okay. All right. Whenever I look at monkey VODs, I always start thinking about comp. So I'm not really sure if McCree's good here, to be honest. I feel like Echo's better, but like Echo Tracer. But yeah, I don't know. I think generally speaking, you don't want to drift. You don't want to get to the middle of the map as fast as you can. You just kind of want to chill on the sides of the map with your tracer, right? And just fight over this part of the map, right? And once you win this, you get a free jump from here, right? Um, that way you're creating off-angle pressure where instead of looking, so they can't look at both you and the high ground at the same time, right? If they look at you, if they're here, they're staring you down, they're shooting you as you cross, and they're also shooting your team, right? So either you go around the side of the map early on, right? So you go this way, right? And you like try and sneak up on them this way when they're not when they're not paying attention by getting here first, right? Or you go around the sides of the map this way, fight the enemy tracer if they have one with your tracer, right? Help her out, kick her out with a jump if need be. Make sure you can maintain LS relatively easily from here, right? This is very safe for your Ana, right? And once you secured this, then you can get a free jump, right? And that way, and then your Ana can peek at the same time and get a big nade, right? And this forces your Ana to not have to peek so much to heal you, because this spot it feels safe, right? But it's very easily flanked by anything. So if the Tracer wins a 1v1 over here, he shoots you. If a Tracer ends up on this side of the map because she wants to go to point or something, or Sombra, right, she can shoot you. It's just very easily flanked, and it's also hard for your Ana to heal you, because in order to heal you, she has to like either like I don't know, she either has to sit really far back, right, or she has to like peek the ledge, right, which is like a little risky. If you were here for like Vic's review, he was just like he was dying here. He was taking so much damage. Yeah, this forces you into a kind of mediocre jump. You do find a good kill though, but yeah, you're dead. Trying to consider my honest angle more. Yeah. Um, yeah. The important thing to remember is that, like you don't have to like walk in with your team very much. It's totally okay just walk in on an angle, and as long as you're not doing it alone, it's generally fine. And then if they don't, once you figure out their comp and you realize they're running Echo McCree, then suddenly you actually don't have to worry about anyone sitting here ever, right? There's no world in which like the enemy team is playing high ground and McCree's down here, right? So all you have to do is just chill, right? You walk, 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 and then you jump, right? Because there's nothing here. But until you know that, right, play with your tracer, right? Help your tracer clear this, right? Once it's cleared, then your tracer can start setting up for a more aggressive dive, like going around or something. You can chill here. Um, but yeah, you want to play the edges of the map as much as you can. Wow, McCree's actually down here. What the? Alright, that was very risky. You kind of stood here looking at the Zen, which let's I don't know explain this, but in like physical sports, a lot of the times they'll try to like people will try to read your eyes, right? Like in football, you'll like the safeties and the corners will you'll be staring at the quarterback a lot, trying to see where he's going to throw, right? In basketball, they'll look at you to see where you're going to throw the pass, right? Things like that, right? Um, but so if you stand here looking at the Zen knows you're looking at him, and he's gonna start running away if he's intelligent, right? This guy, not very good. I watched the stream and he was not very good. But uh, he'll preemptively discord you, right? And he'll start backing up, and this makes this jump suicidal because you take 150 damage on entry from him, and then you'll have discord on you in the middle of the team and you'll die, right? So you can only make that play with primal, and for the most part, you just kind of want to chill, right? So you see the Zen, you see staring at you, right? Even if he's out of position, this is not what you want, right? Because this is a very long jump and he's looking at you, right? So instead, just like back up, go around, keep going around. Oh, this is much better, right? Now you're much less isolated when you do this. You have a low ground to drop to, you have a mega underneath, right? Again, play the edges of the map. Don't just like I know you went left, right? That's good, right? But then realize that now if you jump across main, you're still main. You know? So this gets you the Zen kill, I'm pretty sure. Because this bubble does cut off the honor from the Zen, right? But you much rather just jump from somewhere where much more edge of the mappy. And it's much harder to punish, right? Make sense? Okay, awesome. Oh, nice. You linked up with Gabe as well. Good. Jumped out. You probably didn't need to. You probably could have just jumped straight up on the honor, to be honest. I know you didn't have bubble, but especially if you can sync up with Tito's bubble, you can do that. And then also, like, for the most part, you're not going to really die from full HP here when, like, neither of the tanks can do anything to you. But, yeah, I don't really mind jumping back to your team. He's invincible. Wait. Oh, okay. He has so much health. Help me. Again, we're going around here, right? And now we're face taking the enemy team again. You see this? We're walking straight at the Echo, right? And this Arya, and the Mercy, right? And this guy is shooting us from range, right? So instead of that, we see the monkey jump up, and you go, okay, let's go around, right? And we see an Ana here, right? We see no one on high ground yet, if we were at this point, right? And then we just jump the Ana, and suddenly, this guy has to make a decision between helping the Echo she just rezzed, right? Helping the monkey, or helping the Ana in the back, right? And realistically, one of them will die, right? But instead, like, you're just kind of walking in, right? And I know you want to help Gabe, right? But, like, a lot of the times, right, you and Gabe want to approach from different angles, right? If you're not fighting for map control. So if you want to approach from different angles, you do that by just, like, walking over here, right? And then be like, okay, I'm on the Ana. And then Gabe can be like, oh, Ana. Okay, I'll only blink over here, dump a clip, right? Ana's dead. And then Gabe can go back to doing whatever he's doing, right? Like, these are just really hard kills, right? It's a Zarya with bubble, and an Echo, and a Mercy, right? It's just so hard, right? Closing in on Primal. Right, so I know you see a Mercy, right? But she hasn't jumped yet, so she's going to jump. You're going to not do enough damage. But you do see a McCree staying in high ground by himself, right? Again, target priorities, right? You went around the side of the map. You didn't take too much damage, right? You're in a good spot. So just walk a bit closer and then jump, right? Rip. 2 high noons, 2 struck.
Miracle of science.
Alright, this is a desperation play. You got a touch point. Do whatever you want. Do you.
I'm on fire.
Just FYI, Monkey's favorite spot is right here. The only thing you have to watch out for is Echo, like, scouting for you and then clearing you in advance. But this is a really good spot for Monkey. That said, like, if you think the enemy team's competent, like, this is the spot they always check, right? So be careful of that, but.
Mobility increase.
Ah, I see. Just couldn't get it right. Yeah, and again, don't be afraid to fall, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with just falling. Dropping down a bit. Again, play the side so it's a little bit easier to heal generally. Or just, like, look for your Ana, like, when you drop, like, where's my Ana? Is she healing from here or over here, right? That matters. And then, like, just chill, right? And then jump back up. Whenever it's a good time. Again, be careful sitting directly underneath them, right? Because this makes it easy for them to off angle and poke you, right? Like, imagine somebody poking you here. Like, imagine if Kree walked this way, he could just shoot you for free, and you wouldn't have cooldowns to fight him because you just burned your bubble, right? You could ask for bubble potentially from Tito and then jump, but, you know, it's a little bit harder. And then, like, somebody here can potentially get an angle on you, like this Echo flying can shoot you, right? So for the most part, you want to, like, try and find which direction they're approaching from and hide from them. So, right, this is why I was thinking about this side more, because this side is where, like, it's much harder for the Echo to fight you because she has to be over here to do it, and in order to do that, she gets shot by your team, right? Whereas, like, against Tracer, for example, maybe you'd be a little bit more concerned about hiding here because Tracer can push you a bit harder. But you can also just fight her in this doorway because it's hard for the Tracer to, like, she's not going to kill you. She's just going to like burn some HP and leave, right? If you have easy access to healing from like here, right? It's not so bad. All right, your bubble's back up. Our monkey jumped. You should make a play. Nice. Kill. All right, so jumping monkey is fine, but I think you need to take a second longer to try and figure out what you actually want to go for here, right? If you think about it, this is what you see, right? Okay. You get stunned, right? You get a second to reset, and then this is what you see. So you see a Tracer, a Nano Zarya, right? Your Kree's up there fighting an Echo, right? And the monkey as well and a Mercy, right? So not a lot of stuff you can actually kill, right? So, what should you do? Any ideas? Yeah, you you can just sit here, right? There's nothing wrong with doing nothing, right? Like you can't really do much to impact the monkey. Like you can kind of put some damage on him, but it's kind of negligible. The Echo Mercy you do literally nothing to, right? This is a Nano Zarya, and you don't want to mess with her. You don't really want to mess with her, and you already used your bubble, right? You don't have Primal, so like again, you don't have a lot of options here. So you can make a play, right? You can try to contribute, especially someone that looks like they're overextending, right? You can help your team like collapse on them, right? But for the most part, this you can just sit here and camp res, right? You can just chill here, make sure they can't res, then you've done your job, right? And then when your team regroups and starts living, right? Because your team is up right now, right? As long as people live, we're chilling. Um, and then either the enemy team overextends, trying to like chase for kills, and then you can punish that with your jump, or they aren't able to get anything. Your team resets, gets cooldowns, right? And then you can just re-engage on target when they come back to Earth, like when the Echo runs out of fly, or when this Nano like expires, right? You get that's a pretty free kill with your Tracer, right? You just need to chill for a second, right? Yeah, waiting there is totally valid. Because like, did you really make a difference on this monkey's decision to jump out? Right, once he kills the McCree, he's running for his life anyways, I think. But instead, like we gave up a position. It looks like they didn't get the res off anyways though. But yeah, not really the best situation overall. It's a good jump though, a lot of pressure. Mercy out of it, nice. Get everyone out of it. This spot's pretty good too, right? It's not too hard to get healed from here, right? Look at the angles, right? Your Ana can heal you from pretty easily from here, right? Which is a little exposed, but like you can play it very conservatively inside, and you can also play the walls for cover. And I think you can also heal from this side. Not. If you're honest playing low ground, this is a really easy spot to heal. But if she's playing high ground, this is a little bit harder. It's still really good though. In order to push you, they have to like walk into your team's LOS and then come around here to zap you. So like this is very safe. It doesn't really hide. It's not really hiding, right? But it's very safe. If you want to really trigger them, this is where you start waving at them. Okay, what's up? Oh, they bubbled you so early. I admire your discipline not to primal there. Primal's okay. Forcing out a lot of resources. Don't die though. Nice job.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Winston.
It's all fine so far. Oh, they see 9. Okay. Yeah. Overall, not bad. Just be more, not be more, but like spend some time thinking about like angles a bit. You don't during scrims. I understand that like this is kind of hard to think about, but like after like a map or something, just think about the spots you were holding, or like after the scrim or something, just like look back at the maps. Just look at where you set up and just think about whether or not there's a spot you can do it better, and like maybe look at like I don't know, one map a day or something. It's not very difficult. Yeah. Because like you're doing some good stuff, right? Just think about like, was this spot good? Was this spot good? Were there something better, right? And I think this spot's good. This spot's also good. This one's also vulnerable getting scouted by Echo though. So if you're scared by Echo, don't bother, right? This spot's really good, right? This spot maybe not the best. It's okay though. But just kind of run through it like that, right? And that from there, like you've just sort of figured out Ilios on Monkey. So yeah. Yeah. So spots need some fine tuning, but we're mostly pretty good. Still have an issue where you jump at monkeys a little bit too much. But it was fine overall. Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was fine. Is Ilios the second map? It was. All right.
Score 1-1.
Did I pause? I did pause. Okay.
Ready for battle.
All right. So monkey on this map, you're mostly looking to control chokes, right? So if you think about this map, there's a big hole of death in the middle, a very open point with no cover, right? And then like 15 million chokes, like a choke, a choke, choke, a choke, a choke, a choke, and they pretty much all have high grounds, right? So you're mostly looking to prevent them from even really getting out of chokes in general. You have you'll get the resources to do it, right? So this is really good, right? So this is main. You don't care about these guys. You see your tracer fighting their tracer, jump at her, force her recall, right? That can straight up win fights. Like she's not getting any help, right? Yeah. So imagine how much like if you just hit the jump damage with like a melee, right? That's 80 damage, right? Even if you miss a bit of the damage, or like you hit like don't hit a melee, so you hit some lightning instead, and you hit like a half damage jump, that's still like 50 damage, and that's a large part of Tracer's health pool. So imagine you come out here, right? You roll left side, that's fine, right? You look main, you see people main, right? And you just straight up jumped at this and hit her into the corner, right? Can you imagine how sad this Tracer would be? That's an instant recall, right? Right here, right? Look how low she is, right? Just jumped in, right? Zap, 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 force a recall, turn around, chase her down the hallway, right? Free win. Yeah, very sad. We're just really hesitant to jump here. The jump was okay. You pursued a little bit too far, right? Again, if you can't kill a BAP, he's going to chase you all the way out, right? So jump him, chase him, knock him down, right? As soon as he drops, leave. Yeah, Gabe even took her heals, right? Like, just go mess her up. Look, you jumped, instant recall, right? And like, that's not always a good trade, right? But like, when you're fighting for map control, especially at the very start when there's nothing going on and you have nothing to jump anyways, it's an amazing trade, right? Because that means your tracer spends like one blink, maybe two blinks, for all of the tracer's blinks recall, and maybe you still kill her. It's pretty good, like defensive overall play. You probably could have jumped even without your bubble, but I don't mind you just chilling, waiting for a bubble. Defending left side of the map, I like it. Right side's very hard for your team to control because they have Echo, Echo Mercy rather. So the Echo, generally speaking, will just win against your Echo because she has damage boost. And then once like she beats the Echo, then she just hits you for free. So you want to play a spot that like she doesn't really want to play on, right? Right. So again, we're chilling, right? We don't want to start action yet until our team's set up, right? So if we look, our team's not really set up, right? We have supports back here who are not in LOS to help heal you. That's kind of on them. I was telling Vic about that, but you should be somewhere closer to you. Your Zarya can bubble you theoretically, but it's kind of far, right? And your Echo is set up very defensively, right? So our whole team is playing very defensively right now while we wait for Gabe to come back and spawn, right? But right now you're just trying to challenge the BAP when you don't need to, right? And so this costs you your HP, right? Half your HP and your bubble. And forces you to jump all the way back, right? Which is okay, right? But you'd rather not have to spend your bubble doing this, right? You chill here, right? You zap him maybe a little bit, or you just hide from him, right? And then when you're when your Honest getting close to Nano, right? She just peeks out, nanos you, and you jump for the BAP or something, right? There's a bunch of stuff you can do. But like this is like we forfeited all map control at this point, right? Like we're all back. Our Echo's trying not to die to their Echo to the Tracer over here. Gabe's helping out, right? But like we forfeited all of our map control, and we're going to force a dive now, right? We have the ults to do it. Like Nano is very good for this, and our comp's also pretty decent at this, especially against their comp. But it's just kind of rough all around, right? We're just a bit more patient on our positioning. You just walked all the way across and it didn't even shoot you. You're actually just like, I don't want to be here. Let's go this way. Oh, all right, I'm here now. Nice jump. Very good. Again, despite the fact that it's not ideal, our comp is very good at this. Alright, so you're close to primal now, so you can make a really aggressive play. Again, you're just waiting for this enemy support to walk into your kill box. That's not a support, but we'll take it. Primal! Oh my god. If you got flashed there. Oh. That was close. Tried. Careful chasing the hog. Or just out trades you. Yeah. So once you burn your cooldown chasing the hog, right? Like if you like try and zap them, but don't really walk out of your bubble, save your HP, then just start looking for someone else to jump, right? Start moving around the sides of the map again, because you don't really want to mess with the hog. This jump's okay if you know he has no fly, but if he has fly, it's a pretty bad jump. All right, they've copied, so it became a good jump. Burn their ults. Alright, we're chilling, we're going next fight, start setting up like the edges of the map, that's good. Alright, again, this is the part of the map the Echo wants to play, so be careful with this. Although they're off Mercy now, so maybe not. I guess you're fine now, so. Oh, that's him. Okay. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh wait, we gotta look at the other map too. Alright, so gonna summarize that map and then we'll see if it still persists on Lijiang. Gardens, right?
Now arriving at Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, okay. So overall, your dives are more or less fine. You're syncing them with like your team's cooldowns generally. Bubbles are still like kind of iffy, but you know, can't control everything. So, the dives for the most part have been fine. The main issue is like what you do between dives. During the map control phases, like you kind of have issues where like you just routinely get poked out a little bit too early, or you don't really help your team fight for map control when there's nothing else to do. So far at least that we've seen. Yeah, you just don't play angles that are very easy to like support very often, and then you like commit to them, like you just like fight the BAP or something, or at least on that map. We'll see what happens here, but yeah. Okay. So again, this is the same thing, right? Do we see this? This is the same thing from the last map, right? You came up here and you're just getting roasted alive, right? So again, unless you guys try to play because they would rotate white. Okay, so I'm presuming that's later on. But for the first fight, right? This is the same thing as first fight on whatever that map is. Lighthouse, I think. But like you see how this diva is just like shooting you and kind of sad. There's not a whole lot you can do, right? So this spot is okay if they don't have great ways to poke you. But the majority of comps that you will play against will have a stronger center contest than you, right? A Ryan comp will beat you here, an Arista comp will beat you here in terms of just like raw power. Sometimes they don't get here in time, and that works for your team, right? But there's nothing wrong with just like jumping over here, right? Walking over here and then sitting in next to Pagoda for a while, right? Or like jumping across, right? Chilling here and then not doing anything and waiting for the enemy team to like do something, right? Obviously you don't want them to engage on your team, you know, like while you're sitting there not doing much, right? But for the most part, right, you want to play somewhere where you don't get poked as hard, right? While you try to figure out how to take map control. Like you don't want to lose this spot for free, right? But you don't want to like just like get poked to death, right? This is not a situation we like, right? Although we're winning, so you know, I guess it works out. Nice. The supports are so bad. That was a good jump though, right? It took you a little bit long, right? You kind of just want to peek out and immediately jump. You don't want to like walk out and then jump. But that was like the jump on the bridge was really good.
The objective is now.
So don't forget, contesting this guy is not your responsibility, right? This is your Zarya, your Tracer, your Echo. Fight this side. You just wanted to like chill here and make sure they don't get bridge control very easily. He's in. Again, right? You see Monkey? You want to zap him, right? That's cool. Zap him a little bit, and turn around, check the bridge, right? That's the priority, right? Alright, both tanks are in. What the heck? Alright, so, again, right? Checking the bridge is good, right? But there's no one there, right? No one's peeking. You don't need to jump them, right? So, if, like, this also prevents accidents like this where you jump and there's no one here. Right? So, it's good that you realize, oh, bridge, and then you turn around, but, like, if you don't see anyone, you don't need to jump, right? What's D.Va doing? They're rotating white. So when they go white room, couple things to think about. One, where are their actual off angles? Because if they just sit here, it's super easy. Like ball, monkey, doesn't matter what you're playing, right? You just sit on these sides, right? And then you just jump, cut off the backline from the front line. You kill the front line, or you kill the backline, depending on which one's easier, right? And it's super straightforward. Or you just chill back here, right? You sit, you wait for them to come in, you jump past them, right? If it's like brawl or something, they all rotate together, right? You just jump past them, bubble, and then start running away if they push you, or walk after them if they leave you, right? What do you mean sit on the other side? Like here? Yeah, sure. I mean, either it doesn't really matter, right? It depends on where they're setting up, right? So if they're controlling angles, right? They're trying to shoot you here. Obviously, you can't sit here, right? But you can sit here, right? Without much issue, right? You can sit here without much issue. You can even sit back here if you want. You can sit here. You can sit here. There's a ton of spots, tons of spots, right? The main thing is just like you just set up, don't get shot, right? And just wait for them to like do something, right? Because just remember that like not only do they need to get on point, they need to clear the point, right? They need to stop you from standing, like stop one of your teammates from standing on the very edge of the point and stopping them from capping, right? And that's very hard for them to do. So you just need to chill. Eventually, they're going to have to come to your side of the point to do something, and then in that time, you can either have already made your move and like kill the backline or kill the front line, right? Or you can play the backside of point, and then when they full commit, right, the backline will have to swing out or something, right? And then you trap the backline that way, right? Like you either fight for this choke, right? This choke, abusing the fact that they have to like get come around the sides of the point to like do stuff, right? Or you fight for like this choke because it's the bridge and there's like this is probably better for primal, right? Things like this, right? But for the most part, yeah, you don't really have to do a whole lot. You just gotta wait for them to walk into your space. Alright, so they're poking you. That sucks, right? Like you said, you can go this way, or you can go this way to keep tabs on what they're doing, right? That's probably that could be useful in a lot of cases, especially if our comms are like maybe not the best at scouting. If we're struggling with scouting, you can just keep peeking, getting your own information, right? But yeah. You really don't want to do that. And again, don't stand in front, right? If you walked across like this, just walk around behind and start running again, right? Invite them to point, and then go hit the backline, right? You don't want to, like, remember, level 1, right? Level 0, or whatever it was. Level 1, right? Level 2, or whatever, you know. Whatever, I don't remember what they were, right? But like, if you see that Zen here, be like, ah, Zen's over there. And then you can actually just jump straight out if you have Primal or something. Or you can just like back out a bit, right? Make him useless, right? And then like, he's gonna drop or move at some point, then you go for him, or like you just like rotate around and like cut off this spot again, right? Like again, bunch of stuff you can do, but like don't want to face tank the enemy team. That's what we're trying to avoid. Especially when we don't have bubble. Right, now we have primal, so we can go for a really aggressive play. I like this rotation. I was very slow in the bubble. Or the primal, so I was kind of scared, but... Oh, we're dying. Ah! Yeah. A little too greedy there. Yeah, the concept was good. Just a little bit greedy with the execution.
Further experimentation required.
Alright, so before you make this play, make sure you get nano, right? So, like, have your Ana walk over here or something, or follow you or something. Get to this point, and then you jump from nano with here, and then your team runs in behind you from main, right? But make sure you have nano when you make this play. And then make sure also you don't hit your head on whatever you hit your head on. Go as deep as you can, right? Because you don't have a ton of resources here, and your team's really not set up. Like, your tracer is, like, with your team, right? Like, so we haven't done a great job setting up for your play, but you can't really wait, right? So when you go for your play, make sure you have all your resources, like your bubble, your nano, right? Go as deep as you can get, right? And then keep going, depending on like whether they turn to peel for you or not, right? Which most cases they will. In which case, that your team can walk in for free and just really pressure the front line and point. Yeah, I made a bad call there to nano after I jump. Yeah, it's just really hard to nano you, right? Like she's trying, she's really trying, but. Yeah, so many bodies. We bubbled. No, and now we're jumping. No. So dead. Yeah. I know why you felt pressured to bubble. But like you just gotta hold on to it. Either bubble and do nothing and commit to holding your side of the point, right? Then just walk out if they rally and don't jump, right? Just walk and zap, and if you find someone isolate, then you jump, right? But or just like try and live, and then when you have your nano or when you have your bubble, right? Then like or you get enough healing, then you jump out with your bubble, right? But like you can't do both, right? You can't cut it halfway. Team clutching, Pog. He run down by a brick. Alright, we have another primal. Again, we don't really want to fight like this close. I guess we're backing up now. But like the problem is they saw us, so this D.Va's staring us down. We don't grab the mega, no! Not like this! No, you bubbled, no! Alright. So first of all, be careful, again, don't invite the D.Va to look at you, and when the D.Va is looking at you, don't peek into her repeatedly. You took like an extra 150 damage on that and lost all your armor, and then that forced you like into a kind of rough jump. If you're going to make the jump, you should primal like almost immediately because the brig was right here, and there's a good chance, there's a reasonable chance you could have kicked her off the side. And if you don't get it, you just jump up, right? Soft reset, right? And then just like basically just keep jumping up, and they can't cross the bridge anymore, right? Right? You just jump up, you slide down, you jump up, you slide down, jump up, you slide down. If they try to cross, then you kick them off, right? And that way you conserve more HP while applying the same threat. Because damage you do during primal doesn't matter, right? If they don't die and they heal it, right? You're not getting ult, they're getting ult. And unless it's real pressure, right? Like it's actually threatening to kill someone, they don't need to heal it even, right? Because they have a brig, they'll passive heal it, right? So all you need to do is stop them from crossing the bridge and zone them out basically. Because they're nano primaling in your backline, right? So if all you do is jump straight up, don't hit your head on this obviously, but like jump out, right? And then like be like, okay, slide down the roof, right? Jump out, right? Slide down the roof, jump up, right? And just do that repeatedly. If you just do that, they can't cross the bridge anymore, right? How do you cross a bridge when there's a monkey? You're like jumping up, right, like right here, right? Like jumping out over there. Like if you try to cross, there's a very good chance you boop someone. Um, and then it's like playing ball but just swinging, right? Just swinging back and forth, right? Can't cross. um, and if they once your primal's expiring, right? Then not only you're higher HP, right? Your bubble's coming up cooldown soon, so you can just like kind of just like chill. And either you can land back here and block them off with bubble for all eternity, right? And then jump out if you need to. Or you can just like jump out, right? Help your team, right? And then walk on a point, make sure they can't cap and just bubble yourself off. Right. And that way your teams can live, right? You're bubbling, helping your team, and you're just kind of chilling. But the main thing is like you all in too hard on the bridge. Trying to like boop a diva, right? You took a ton of damage, you bailed, and then when you ended primal ended, you're like, oh, I'm down to 150 HP, right? And then you bailed even harder to grab the mega, right? So this is fine for ball, right? Because ball, first of all, has more HP to heal, and second is a lot faster than monkey and is less cooldown reliant, right? So if you're a ball, right, and you're like, oh, that mega's taken, I need to go grab this mega, and you just roll over here, right? You're fine, and then you come back, right? And you don't really lose a whole lot of time. Whereas monkey, right? You committed bubble, right, which is 13 seconds, and you committed jump, which is 6 seconds. And you walk out, right? You're both slower than ball, and your jump is like a longer cooldown than the grapple. I think so. I think grapple's 5. So now you're in an awkward situation where you have no cooldown to like help your team fight, and even though you're healthy, it doesn't matter, right? Plus, you're running an on in this comp instead of a Zen, right? When you grab this mega a lot as ball, right? It's because you have Zen. Zen can't heal you, right? But you have Ana. Ana can really heal you, right? You see the difference? Sorry, that was a lot of words. But so first, taking a lot of damage on primal is not particularly good. And you can mitigate that by just jumping a lot and applying a pressure that way. Yeah, okay. And then second, if you do take a lot of damage, don't grab this mega. It's way too far out of the way, right? You grab it if your team is just hiding the hut trying to live, right? And then if like you can grab it so to avoid like stressing your Ana too much. But for the most part, right, your Ana can heal you. In fact, it's her primary job. Jump. It's that. Isolating someone and focusing them. That's a weird split from the Ana, but pressure. For the zoning grab. Fortunate. Oh! I saw that happening a little bit too fast. Let's go back. Unfortunate. Even clutch. Maybe not? I don't remember if we win this. Probably win this. You guys like won most of your maps, right? Ah, almost. Alright, cool. Did you play any more Monkey? I think that was it, right? Or like the VODs you sent in anyways. Gerardo? Gotcha. I'd like to do it, but my voice is like going out. And I still got Gabe's VOD to go through, so yeah, okay. Please. Alright. So overall, Monkey is fine, I think. You have some issues with Primal where you tend to commit too hard. I don't know, maybe there's recency bias, I just remembered it because I saw this map. But yeah, just really work on your staging, right? So like instead of like sitting here and getting poked, right? Instead of sitting here and choke, right? I know your Zarya got like slept, right? If you want to bubble from here, right, and then run away, right? Or if you're going to cross with your bubble, like cross and then hide, right? Like try to avoid taking damage during these pre-fight stuff, right? Only like commit cooldowns really during poke. In situations where like there's no threat of a fight actually happening, right? So on the Legion, on the Ilios well example, right, you can jump at that tracer because you know that like their tracer is fighting their tracer and nothing else is going on. So jumping their tracer is always going to be value. Um, so a lot of times you just need to chill, right? And just wait for a good opportunity to go in, right? And then once you're in, try to conserve your HP in those moments because I know your Ana is supposed to heal you, right? And that's true. Um, but uh, you can only like you only intentionally take a lot of damage, or you only want to take a lot of damage against comps that can't punish your Ana, right? So in monkey versus monkey, you need to you should expect pressure to go on your Ana a lot, right? So the less you stress your Ana requiring you to heal you, requiring her to heal you, the better, right? Um, and in but in Brawl v Dive or Dive v Brawl, it's okay to take a lot of damage as long as you don't give up point control, right? So if like you're playing attack or something, um, uh, like just say we're trying to cross a bridge and they're holding here as Brawl, right? You just like walk up, eat 300 damage, jump back, walk up, take 300 damage, jump back, and just do this repeatedly. Get like 30-40% on your primal, and then have build nano, and then jump over the wall or something, and apply a lot of pressure to the backline, and then your team walks in behind that, right? Um, presumably after they've like um got your echo over here or something, or your tracer like over here, and just apply pressure to the sides, right? And then you just jump in with nano, and your nano will be faster than every other ultimate in the game or something, right? Um, and those are the times when it's okay to take damage because there's no way your Ana dies in the downtime, right? But in Dive Dive, it's a lot scarier to do that, right? Um, yeah. So any questions? To summarize, like focus on not getting damage, not getting poked. Um, help your team fight map control when it's relevant, and commit less hard, especially with primal. Or sorry, that came out wrong. Commit less hard, and try to conserve HP even when you're primally. And a big part of that is like primal can represent threat, and if you can't chase someone down, there's nothing wrong with just jumping up and down and being a threat. Right. In this case, you don't need to apply threat because like I mean, there's literally a boop right here, so not really that worried, right? But on maps where like they there's no obvious boop threat, jumping up as primal is still effective because a lot of times you jump in, you primal, you kick some people around, and you lose track of what's going on, right? So jump up is a good way to avoid some damage and also reassess what's going on because you just do like the spin move, you spin around like on over there, right? Boom, now you're on the Ana, right? And that's a lot harder to do when you're on the ground just spinning around doing stuff and trying to jump at random people and trying to primal them, right? Um, so like it can be a good chance to like reestablish stuff because a lot of the first like couple seconds of primal is just kicking people around and knocking making things chaotic. And once you made things chaotic, you jump up, right? You find stuff, right? And then you isolate one person to kill them, right? But you want to make things chaotic first, but that's also chaotic for you, so you need to take a second to like stabilize. All right. Yeah. Any questions? Oh god, that was 43 minutes. All right. Awesome. Gonna end the recording here.